Hey, I'm Lauren Cato. I'm an actress. I recently did a short film called Art of Love, and I'm here today with Quason Matthews to talk about our film with the Like a Boss show.
My name's Quason Matthews. I'm a filmmaker, director, all-around creative, and I'm just here with the Like a Boss show. Just here to have a cool little interview. Check out my new film, The Art of Love. It's online right now.
Breakfast is the most important meal of the day. I always make his favourite. I'm never hungry in the mornings, at least not for a few hours. But he always forces me to eat something too.
Got our first real guest in on the video show.
Yep, we do. We have the art of the cast, or half of the cast of Art of Love, and the director, Lauren Cato and Quason Matthews. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
First of all, let me just get this off my chest. Art of Love is a mastermind.
Masterpiece?
Masterpiece.
Still works. Quason's a mastermind, and it's a masterpiece, right?
It definitely is a masterpiece. I when I watched it, it was the roller coaster of emotions that took me on. One thing that was very clear, it was very well written. What was the writing process like, and who wrote it?
Well, we wrote it. We wrote it together. Lauren wrote from a female point of view, and I did the male perspective. And it was all based on our own sort of interpretation of what real love is, you know? So we just sort of went back and forth. How long did it take?
I think it took a good few days. We kept writing bits and then leaving it, coming back to it. And when we had done both perspectives, we came together and did the third bit really, what happens after the incident. So we wrote that bit, but what we found as well when we were editing, that there were some things that we wrote that we didn't need because it was more powerful when nothing was being said, and it was just the music and the visuals. So we did cut a few bits in the edit as well.
Yeah, no, that was very clear to see because at first I even totally forgot that the two characters were even speaking to each other. Like the monologues were very powerful, and like especially at the end. Like I don't want to spoil it for you, for the people who haven't watched it. Make sure you do. But like after the incident, like that bit there where like there's not too much talking and the guy's going through so much pain, like I thought that was a really great issue to like shine light on and just put it out there. So I just think it's an amazing piece of work. You guys keep it up.
Thank you for watching it, man.
Yeah, no. So I wanted to ask, what was the inspiration for this short film?
Well, we've been doing couple Valentine's Day projects. This is like our third year doing it now. So this was just another year to do another. We just thought, we want to do another Valentine's Day project, and and that's where it all kind of came from. And then we started thinking about what can we do to reflect the season, which was love, and then this idea came out. So this is our third time doing a Valentine's Day project.
Why do you guys do Valentine's Day project? I'm not even gonna lie, 'cause in the first 2 minutes probably I was hating. I was like, what are these couples doing? Like not everyday love, like what is this? But then after a while, like it somehow coaxed me into like, you know, like up by like 4 minutes or 5 minutes, I was like, I need a girlfriend. It was so peak. But like I was just like, I've totally forgot my train of thought. My point basically was that how is it writing with such like vigor with the characters? How do you guys have you guys done training before in this sort of writing sort of space? Because I did see a few videos of you online explaining the writing process. Is it something that you learn, or is it something that you're just gifted with?
Well, I'm not actually a writer, so I'm more DP director. So but you're kind of forced to write your own stuff sometimes, and that's what happened. We just, we didn't want to wait, so we just put something together and used a bit of common sense and stuff, and then that's what came out of it. Even the previous two projects we wrote ourselves as well, So
you've got a very DIY attitude to this whole filming sort of industry. Like, you know, you could have waited for maybe your short film to get commissioned or whatnot, but the fact you went out and done it yourself and pull it out on yourself, is that something you have to do as an independent filmmaker, or is that just something that, you know, you're used to?
I think whether you're a filmmaker or just anyone that has any sort of talent, I think especially now with the internet and all these other resources, like, you could wait if you want and go down that route, or if you know, I think there's nothing wrong with trying it yourself. I think as well, once you've got a visual to actually see, you know, it's easier to maybe even pitch the idea or whatever. So I think with all the resources we have now, there's no real excuse. You should just try, innit? You know, you could wait and say, you know, depends what it is though. Some ideas, I guess you do need that backing, but if it's just a little project that you want to just do because you want to see it come to life, I think you should just do it.
That's really interesting. So the like general theme of our show is entrepreneurship, and we're kind of like very much in the like entrepreneurial tech space. But we always get people on from different backgrounds and like to see how they've been entrepreneurial in their careers, their different arts and things like that. And it sounds like you're pretty entrepreneurial as far as like seeking out those opportunities, you know, making your film, not waiting for someone to give you some funding or anything like that. I mean, how has, for both of you, how has kind of having hustle impacted the work that you do, especially as an actress? You've got to really hustle and get out there. Just tell us a bit about kind of the hustling you've had to do.
I think it just begins with wanting to do something. Like, whether or not you have an agent, like, you still have to be doing the work as well. So I think now it's just in me. Like, I hate sitting still or feeling like I'm not doing it enough, or there's that side of me. But the other side is I want my work to be of a good quality and I want it to be good. So I would rather spend like however long on a project like this and know that it's going to be good, rather than think, let me do this really quick and just get something out there. So I think it's creating that balance as well. But in terms of like the hustle, it's always writing, always looking for stuff, like always trying to come up with little ideas and just not being pushed back too far. Sometimes you will have a down day, but it's just picking yourself back up. Right, come on, let's go. Because even when we was filming this, there were moments where I was thinking, this isn't going to work. How are we going to do this? Oh, we have to have another day of filming. We didn't plan to. We wanted to do it in one day. So there were loads of little things that was sort of like niggling a bit, like, how is this going to work? But because we had it in us, we was like, no, we have to do this. Come on, let's work our way around this. So yeah. Yeah,
and I think as well, it's because I'm from like a more self-taught DIY background, so it's just what I've always known. Do you know what I mean? Like, if I think about it now, if I waited for someone to give me a camera or whatever to be given to me, I wouldn't have anything right now. Everything that I've achieved to this point was me going out and trying, even if I didn't know what was going to happen. It was more for me saying, you know, I've got this idea, I want to see it come to life. I'm going to do what I can until I'm in a position, or someone, you know, until there's an opportunity for assistance to go further. But until then, I'm going to do it myself. And I think that's the attitude, like I was saying before, with all the resources we have now, it should be a no-brainer. Like, you know, there shouldn't be any sort of like excuses in that sense. So I would just say to anyone, just keep trying until you never know, you know, and I've seen the results of just trying effort, you know, so yeah.
So one thing that I'm quite about short films is that, like, even like when they go to like the Sundance Festival, which is a short film festival, right?
Yeah, there's a bunch of stuff going on at Sundance, but yeah.
So really,
I haven't been. I'd love to go, but yeah.
But basically, even when they get to those sort of festivals, like, they're not really commercial. So I've always wondered, like, what are short films really for? Are they like to showcase talent? Are they to like what is to be expected at the end of a really good short film?
Well, I think it depends on what your subject matter is. Some short films are just to raise awareness about things. Some short films are literally just like passion projects. You just want to, you know, like, you want to tell a good story. But the main thing with shorts, I think, is to obviously get exposure for the cast, get exposure for the director, and it's just about sharing the idea. You know, like, these festivals, they're just a bunch of creatives displaying their creative work, and then an opportunity might arise if there's like a producer there or someone who works in the industry. They might like the story, and they might want to take it further or whatever it may be. So the main thing I think with those festivals is just showing your work to other creatives and creating a networking space where you can collaborate and stuff like that. So it's really to raise awareness about you and what you're doing, and in between that you find opportunities.
So when did you know you wanted to be an actress?
That's a hard question. I'd never known how to answer it. When I was younger, I always just liked to do things, creative things, and was always making up a story, or I don't know, like getting my cousins to do a play or a dance in front of our parents and stuff like that. So I was always that kind of kid. And then my secondary school, they had like a performing arts status, so stuff like drama, music, dance, that was all very pushed in my school. I did a few plays there, and then I thought, oh, let me do drama for GCSE, did it for A-levels, and then I decided to do it for a degree. So yeah, I think it was just like a process that I wasn't even really that aware of, because I didn't do anything outside of school in terms of like go to an acting class or any kind of like project outside of school. But when I was at uni, I made it my goal. I was like, I really want to get an agent, just because that was what everyone was talking about, and it seemed like the thing to do.
Yeah.
So, but it was good because I was able to learn at uni, but also learn from going to castings and working with my agent as well, which was good. So I was getting both sides, which was good. So yeah, I think it was just something that was in me, and I come from a very creative family as well. So yeah.
A lot of young people kind of want to get into acting. It's a very glamorous industry. What kind of advice would you give to someone, to like a young girl that wants to get into the industry, but maybe doesn't know some of the real truths about, you know, the day-to-day like work and the grind that actually goes into it?
Yeah. A lot of the time when you're doing, I think, anything creative, there are a lot of days when you're actually doing nothing. Like, it's not like every day you've got a shoot or you've got a casting, or there's a lot of days where you do feel like, what am I doing? Like, maybe I should get a job, and it is good to do other things on the side as well, but it's good to do other things that don't stop you from working towards your creative passion. One thing I would say, it's a lot of, we spoke about the grind, the hustle. It is a lot of that, and obviously people post stuff on social media, and there's this perception of, oh, it's so good, and they've always got this going on, and they've always got something coming up, but it's the times in between that are the worst and the hardest. Like, there are moments when you feel like, all right, am I doing the right thing? Maybe I should get a real job. And there are people that aren't really supporting you, maybe in your family or whatever. Like, I have friends whose parents aren't that supportive of what they're doing, like, because it's not something that, say, you can live off of unless you're kind of up there. Like, can you pay your rent like every month just doing acting? I can't. Like, do you know what I mean? So it is really hard. There's a lot to think about, but at the same time, if you enjoy it, you will make the time for it, and you'll appreciate those moments where you do get to do projects like that, or you do get the casting here and there, and you get a chance to perform. So it's a lot of, like, I don't know, there's a lot of ups and there's a lot of downs as well. That's what I'd say.
You're totally right. A real job's overrated. Just putting it out there. But basically, Quason, so what do you prefer? Do you prefer making films, or do you prefer shooting like music videos? I could imagine music videos being so much more fun though. Or is that a wrong perception?
Yeah, it depends. I mean, when I first started, like this is what this year makes my 9th year actually in it.
Wow.
So when I first started, music videos was a thing to do. They were easy to turn around. You meet artists, you know, you do a lot, you travel around a lot, and you do a lot. But as I was doing it, and I started moving up, I was just looking long term, and I was thinking, yeah, I could do this for the next however many years, but it doesn't really, as a filmmaker, as a creative, it's not opening more doors for me as such, if that makes sense. So, and I just thought, I just prefer the creative process behind making a film. Like, you think of the idea, you do the script, the storyboard. Like, I enjoy that whole step-by-step process a lot more, and then it's even more fulfilling seeing the project come to life. So short films and films in general is more down my alley.
Avenue,
It's just and you get to work with a lot more, a lot more interesting people, I think, as well. Because you get to work with actors and other members of the crew. You do that on music videos as well, but it's just a bit more. It's just, for me, it's just a bit more fulfilling doing the films.
Have you got any interesting music video stories that you can share?
Like, I could only imagine, because even like those early days in the UK grime scene, or even the rap scene, like those videos were proper gully. Like, how would you keep your composure in like a flat in front of like, I don't know, 50 guys, just rapping bare madness?
Do you know what? That's a good point, because starting out, a lot of people might have to do that. My main thing was, I'm here to do a job. Like, that's what I took it very serious, because I didn't go to university or anything. So as far as I was concerned, this is my uni now. I'm learning here. This is my everything. So when I was there, I was very focused and, trying to get the job done. And it was funny, because I would turn up. Before, I had this little tiny camera, and I'd turn up and people were like, is this the director? Like, what is this? But then afterwards, I just made sure I did what I had to do. And then afterwards, in the edit and everything else, and then everyone's like, oh, rah, like, it's unexpected, but you have to be focused in those sort of environments, And I think the main thing is being focused on knowing what you want to do and not being too sidetracked by anything else, and a bit of fearlessness, because you can't be scared, because I'm from North London, and sometimes I might have to shoot in South London or wherever, and at that time there was a lot of gang violence and all this other stuff going on, and that thought might cross your mind, oh, I can't go to that area because of whatever's happening. But then if you know what you're doing and you're not in, well, that doesn't exist to you, because that's not your world. Then and that's the mentality I had, and everything was fine. It just worked out,
So, because I think I saw a lot of where I remembered you from was a lot of videos on Grime Daily. How did you get involved in that sort of thing, and what was your progression through it?
With Grime Daily, the first thing I did with them was a behind the scenes of a Skepta shoot way back. That was like 2010, 9, 10.
Wow, before Skepta was cool.
Yeah, before Skepta was Skepta. And they had me doing a couple behind the scenes stuff, and then as I just did that, and so I was good at that, and they start asking me to do more things, to the point where of recent we did a Dine Daily, like a cooking type show.
That was really cool.
Yeah, but even that is different, because it's not a music video, and for me, doing online shows was another sign of me wanting to come out of that. Because music videos obviously straightforward, but then like structure, I like the organizing and the structure of like content. Like, online shows a lot more challenging, a short film is a lot more challenging, so I was exercising my skills in that area. And it just progressed from there. People saw I could do music videos. They saw I could do short online shows and stuff. And I was just getting contacted from different people to do work on their projects and help them make it happen.
One of the shows that you did do quite early on was That's a Rap Show.
Yeah.
And that was actually, the way that actually blew up, because I still remember, was it on AKA?
Yeah,
it was.
Yeah,
so I actually thought that was pretty cool. And now Poet's gone on to do pretty amazing things. So how was it working on those sort of shows? And what would you say is your favourite show that you've currently done?
It was the same principle again, like wanting to do something and just doing it yourself. That's Rap was, first of all, that would be my favourite show, because it was the first show I did where I saw so much opportunities come from it, and that embedded us a bit more in the industry. Through that, we met so many celebrities, international and UK, and once again, it started off with just us wanting to make something, and we just did it. We used what we had. And every episode was done in my bedroom, even the ones that went on TV. But the way we did it, you wouldn't think it was
because it's just in a dark place.
Just a black backdrop.
Yeah.
And we're just consistent as well, and we just put it out, and people loved it. Because at the time, no one was really doing anything like that. It was just music videos.
You're definitely right, because especially during that time, there was no like real like platform for any sort of content of that nature. So when it came out, it was like already something way different.
Yeah, and we knew it worked because it went on Grime Daily, it went on SBTV. I'm sure we could have got a link up if we wanted to, but and then it went to Channel AKA, and these are all you know, important platforms within the culture. So it shows that it worked, you know, and it was highlighting people. Some of the people that were in it went on to do great things, you know. So it definitely worked.
As an actress, how important do you think that YouTube is now? Because there's a lot of filmmakers that are really making the most of YouTube as a platform for things that they've made to be up there. But as an actress, do you feel like there's as many opportunities for you guys to kind of get roles in online series or even come up with your own ideas for online series?
I think online series are, I mean, if you're going to be in it, it's cool. But if you're writing it and being in it, because I mean, that's something that we've even had a discussion about. And writing anything is difficult, I'd say. I mean, I'm not a writer. But I think for a series, you have to write something that's ongoing. You have to write something that people are going to want to keep watching. What's going to happen next? You have to write these characters that people are going to be drawn to and think, oh, what are they going to do? Oh, I like them. I don't like. Do you know what I mean? So there's loads of layers to a series, I would say. In terms of YouTube, I think it's a really great platform for everyone. I just think it's what you're going to put on there.
Yeah.
I wouldn't call myself a YouTuber, but I do use YouTube to put out my monologues, to put out my show reel, to put out little scenes like that. I very much use it for my acting, or I'll do like a behind the scenes of me when I'm doing a theatre project or something, rather than being a YouTuber, like doing like a makeup tutorial or just like a, I don't know, like a vlog. Do you know what I mean? I'm not that kind of person to use YouTube like that, and that's just because I want it to all be about my acting rather than anything else too personal. But yeah.
That's interesting, because I think the way that, not necessarily you, but a lot of people talk about YouTubers with a little hint of kind of like, oh, he's a YouTuber. Like, it's not a very well respected medium. And I think there's good stuff and bad stuff on there. But do you think that there maybe is a space, if you came up with the right idea, that would be something you'd want to pursue? Or are you just, no, I'm serious acting roles?
For me, it just has to make sense, and I have to feel comfortable doing it. I know if I was to do like anything that a YouTuber does, I probably would feel a bit like, I wouldn't feel comfortable doing it because it's not me. Like, for me, it has to be acting because that's what I do. It makes sense. My brother has his YouTube channel, he does football, he puts freestyle videos up, or something to do with football. I guess if you're, I don't want to say just a YouTuber because it sounds like I'm, you know. But I mean, if YouTubers, they're I guess they're vloggers, or they talk, they like makeup, or they like food and they do like a food vlog. Or that's their love, that's their acting. Do you know what I mean? I'm here and they're there choosing a different thing they're engaged in or passionate about. So I don't think it's like, oh, they're just a YouTuber. I guess I am a YouTuber, but I'm just doing mine in a different way. So yeah, but I guess it's each to their own. But I think YouTube is a great platform, really good. Talking
about YouTube, I was on your YouTube and I saw you were behind the scenes or with the cast of EastEnders for a certain award.
Oh,
Patrick Truman. I don't know his real name.
Yeah,
Patrick. I was so jealous. I was like, oh my god, these are all my childhood heroes, like in one place. What was that like, and what were you actually doing there?
So he has a platform where he does a award show for people from different schools. They can apply and they kind of do a competition. I think it's 15 minutes. They have to make a play or a performance. So it goes out to loads of schools. I think he chooses 6, and then the actual event is done in a theatre, and there's a live audience, and they have like a celebrity or someone who's been in something who are mentoring them and helping them create their
all of them are
show.
From EastEnders, I think.
Yeah, I saw quite a lot of it.
So they get he gets someone from one of the cast members to assist the school in making the theatre performance, and then they all perform at the end in a theatre.
That sounds like a proper
it's giving back to the young people, which is really good. And at the end they win an award and whatnot. So and it's just really cool because they obviously meet the celebrities and the good mentors, help them along the way. So yeah,
cool. Tell you what, one more for Lauren on the actress side of things.
Yeah.
What actresses do you look up to at the moment? Because there's a lot of young people coming through doing interesting things, actors and actresses. Who do you look at and you think that they're doing really great? And are there any kind of greats that you've emulated your style or your career or the kind of roles that you want to be in on?
Okay. My favourite actor, I would say, is Johnny Depp. I really love him. Like, I love the way that he just changes for each character. I know some people think he's a bit too much, but he's a character actor, and I love that.
Some people would say he's the same person in every film.
Is that some people called
Some people sitting over there.
No, I actually think that he plays the same person in every film.
Wow, okay.
I feel like he's a pirate in every film.
That's what I love about acting as well, because it's like, it happened in uni as well. Like, someone would get up and perform. Quason would be like, oh, that was really good, I really connected with it, and you'd be like, what was that? I didn't feel anything. So I kind of like that. Obviously, you do get those performances where everyone's like, no, that, you can't mess with that. Viola Davis, her performances are flawless. Like, you can't say, I haven't heard anyone say a bad word about her, and if they did, I feel like they would be lying. Because I'm just like...
No, she's an amazing actress.
Yeah, she is. But I do like Johnny Depp. I do like character acting myself, and I think I think he's funny as well. So yeah, who else? Naomi Harris. I like her films. I just like her journey as well, and the process that she's been through. She's from the UK as well. That's quite inspiring.
Do you think we're approaching like a golden age for like UK creatives? Like, I mean, this in across the board in like film, music, like sports. Do you think that if you're going to make it in any creative industry in the UK, now's the best time?
100%, because of all, like, I mean, let's just start with music, as we can see how that's progressed. It's just like any other creative field. The music industry over here has been going on, I'm talking about from like the independent, like up and coming, unsigned people. Like Stormzy's obviously just had #1 album, unsigned and stuff like that. So it's like the time for the independent or the, you know, the one that hasn't got the backing or whatever, it's clear to see that, you know, if you pursue it and you're on it long enough and you're serious, like you can make some breakthrough. Do you know what I mean? Because who says that you have to wait for when was that rule ever invented? Yeah, like you have to wait for someone to give you an opportunity. That never, like I believe anyone that ever achieved anything really will tell you they didn't wait for no one. Like you have to know that you want to make the light bulb when everyone else is in darkness. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Like you have to be the one that's willing to seem crazy for a while to get the results you want, and you have to make those sacrifices. It's just part of the process, you know. That should become normal, you know. But I think now is the time, because we've got all these great resources to use for free a lot of times, you know, and because there's so much creative people, I think now it's just finding a way for them all to sort of collaborate and form the right industry structure, and then everything else will fall into place.
I totally agree. I feel like we're approaching like the golden age, and I feel like the internet has been like a major push for that. Like 100%. You don't need a record company or a corporation to push out your music or your products, because you can do it yourself. You can hop up on Twitter or Facebook or etc. and do all of that yourself. So I think, I totally think like right now is the best time for any field. Like even in that world of acting, you've got all sorts of actors popping out. You've got oh my god, probably I should not say his name because I'll probably forget. The guy in Star Wars, David Boyega.
John Boyega. John
That's
Boyega,
really cool. I'm gonna have to edit that out.
lay that over.
Yeah, but some people like him, essentially, like you're seeing them do so many great things and being totally out there. So
and it doesn't happen overnight. This is the thing, and one thing I would say as well, especially with, like Lauren was saying, there's days when you feel like you're not doing anything. The worst thing to do on those days is to look at people who are doing something. So, because you won't feel good. You'll feel like you're not doing anything even more. So, for me, even now at this stage, from me moving away from music videos into film, it takes a different mindset to operate in that level, and to operate on this level takes a different mindset. So right now, I'm trying to just get my mind in a new place. Do you know what I mean? Because psychologically, as a creative, that is important, because the ideas will flow differently because you're thinking differently. Do you know what I mean? So you have to take the time to allow yourself to become that, instead of just moving on with things and you're not in the right state of mind. So,
question to you guys both: what is next? Like, The Art of Love is out and it's amazing, and hopefully it does very well. But once this is out, what is next? What do we expect from you next? Is there another short film are we expecting, or is there anything you can tell us about? Keep us, I don't know, give us some little exclusive information.
looking at me.
Look how you guys are looking at each other. You must have something amazing.
The main thing we're gonna do is we're gonna keep creating. We're gonna keep making things regardless. Obviously, the ideal goal would be to like make a feature film and all that stuff. But I think for now we're just gonna explore other ideas that we have, and we're gonna, at the moment, we're sending Art of Love off to festivals everywhere and stuff like that. So we're just gonna keep using the same formula, in a sense, just keep making stuff. We definitely wanna work on a few more interesting things, maybe not so lovey-dovey.
Yeah, but I think I might have to see an action film this time.
Yeah, like something a bit more interesting. Yeah. So
you guys done a horror film actually as well, the hidden one. That was
yeah. That was 2 years ago now.
2 years ago, yeah.
Yeah, and
for Halloween.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we at least try and do one for the season, like like there's Valentine's, there's Halloween, stuff like that. So just to keep ourselves in that creative space. But we're definitely going to work on a few more things. We don't want to say too much, but things are being written and planned out.
Penned.
Yeah, exactly. That's all you can do for now. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, and then we'll just put it out, and I'm sure you guys will pick up on it once it's out and stuff.
Of course we will. Bring you back in.
For sure. Well, thanks so much for coming through, man. It's been a pleasure chatting to you. Really interesting stuff. Hopefully see you again soon.
Yeah, no, definitely, and thank you guys, and thanks for the amazing
zoom in.
amazing.
But yeah, this is like a Boss Art of Love memorabilia. I thought the movie was so great that it deserved an Oscar, so I thought I'd make it myself. So that's it. It's an E-plaque. So thank you very much for coming through, and I wish you the most success in the future.
Oh, right back at you, man. Thank you. Thank you, guys.
You're watching Like a Boss.
Like a Boss. Thanks for watching.
Love is strong enough to survive any challenge and overcome any obstacle. Love is art.